Hey, man, say, man, hey, start that cab. Yeah, Big Dallas. Yeah, I definitely do that. Definitely. Robert Garcia has some choice words for the former unified champion, Mr. Man Down. Strap season, Errol Spence. So in this video, I will break it down. Give you guys my uncut thoughts. But first, we got to start off with Robert Garcia and what he had to say. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I made this graphic for you guys. Boxing trainer Robert Garcia believes, I do believe, he believes that Errol Spence Jr. has nothing left after the loss, right? And this is what Errol did to Robert Garcia's brother. But hold that in your head. We'll get back to that. In a brand new interview, Robert Garcia says, I think that Errol Spence has nothing left, via a new interview with Boxingego. And he's basically saying Errol is done. Errol don't have any more to give. Errol, he's out of here. You know what I mean? He's just done everything he can do as a fighter. Now, for starters, Errol Spence follows me on social media, right? And you can see he's seen the post and he liked it. So I found that to be funny that Errol Spence liked the post where, you know, somebody's kind of doubting him. And you know how these fighters work. It could be like, all right, I got you, you know, and he's looking at it like laughing, like, all right, we'll see. You know what I mean? And taking it as a challenge. That's kind of what I took from it. You guys let me know what it means in the comment section. Ego thoughts. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I don't see how Robert Garcia, who has zero to do with Errol Spence's career, he is not his trainer. He's not his former trainer. To my knowledge, they're not best of friends. They don't live in the same state. So how do you know and feel qualified to even make that statement? That's what I'm not understanding. You know, and for me, I try my best to just give you guys fair conversation in the sport of boxing and stuff like that. And simply put, if I don't know, I don't pretend to, right? And I feel like at best, there's an asterisk behind Errol Spence's name, but I don't think anybody can safely say outside of maybe him or a sparring partner or somebody who's around him or seen him what is being said by Robert Garcia here. I mean, how do you do that? How do you have no connection to the fighter? He whooped your brother, Mikey Garcia. I was there ringside, right? And because he loses to Terrence Crawford and has been inactive, you say he's finished and he's gone and has nothing else left. Now, I can understand if you said mounting a comeback would be hard, so many years out the ring, yada, yada, yada. But I feel like this happens predominantly with black fighters. Hear me out. Black fighters. People have these like real stern and stark criticisms. Like recently, Chris Algieri was like, oh, Boots is too cocky and he could lose the Xander Zayas fight. But Xander Zayas is like talking probably more than Boots. So how did you arrive at the black fighter is too cocky? You know what I mean? When Xander Zayas is like, Boots, he ain't fought no one like his size. You're like, Boots, he's doing this and trying to overcompensate. Boots doesn't believe what he's saying. He's never met. So you got two guys who are both sounding very confident. The younger guy has probably proven a bit less competition-wise. You know what I mean? Even though he's a champion and the unified champion and whatnot. And Chris Algieri is saying that Boots is the one that's too cocky. But again, if you pay attention to the conversation, they both sound very confident. Xander Zayas is like, Boots, he's an emotional fighter. He fights off of emotion. I'm going to make him pay for that. You know, Boots did this and that wrong. He made a mistake taking this fight. He makes these mistakes when he fights. So how are we just relegating it to the black fighter is the one that's too cocky when they both sound cocky, you know? Or in this case, you got Robert Garcia, and he hasn't had any contact with Errol Spence, but he's saying Errol Spence is done. Based on what? Like, where did you get that from? You know what I mean? I need to know. I'm like, Joe, I want to know. Because I don't really see how you arrive at that conclusion with very little to go off of. Now, here's the other thing that troubles me is Terrence Crawford is regarded as one of this generation's best fighters, but then Errol loses to that said great fighter who also went on to beat Israel Madrimov and Canelo at Canelo's weight, right? And hurt Canelo as a smaller person. So Crawford can fight. We know that, right? So if Crawford is regarded as one of this generation's best, why is it such a sin that Errol Spence, who, in my opinion, looked like he had other things going on in camp or personal life or whatever that had him looking different before he even got punched by Terrence Crawford, right? Then why is it such a shame and so sinful and point of no return to lose to a generational great? I don't even understand. Now, if Errol Spence went in there and lost to Ocampo when he fought and got stopped and dropped and everything that Crawford did, that would be a different conversation, because if you're an Olympian, you're Errol Spence. Hey, stop that cat, man down. Yeah, right? You're Errol. You shouldn't be losing to an Ocampo. And then no one else at Ocampo fought, like Fundora, Tim Tszyu, Caleb Walsh. None of them lost to him. So yeah, that would be a stain. That would be, in my opinion, more embarrassing for Errol Spence. But he didn't lose to an Ocampo level comp, right? He lost to the great Terrence Crawford. So I don't see why people are holding it against. Crawford beats everybody. He's undefeated, retired undefeated, including Canelo, who was way bigger than Errol in terms of mass and fighting at higher weights. We know Errol stayed at welterweight far too long, which didn't do him any favors. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand how losing to Crawford, who, again, Canelo even lost to, becomes this death sentence that, oh, Errol can't come back, he's gone, and it's just over for him. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying it'll be easy to come back, but Tim Tszyu, why are people, that's the person they're talking about him fighting. Why aren't people talking about Tim Tszyu got cooked by more than one person? He got knocked out by Fundora and got destroyed by Murtazaev and lost to Fundora. So if we're being honest, Tim Tszyu got a lot of mileage on him, and he got more losses and more stoppage losses, and he got dropped by Terrell Goucher, right? So why is the focus on what Errol can do? See, you got to pay attention to the conversations being had. I could understand it if the conversation was being like objective, but you can't just tell me Boots is too cocky and he's going into it too arrogant. But then Xander Zayas is younger, definitely unproven, and he has the same type of attitude, and he's talking his stuff, right? Or Errol Spence, you're telling me that he's done, but the guy he's supposed to fight is Tim Tszyu, and he got a lot of wear and tear. Now, he's been more active, I give you that, but he also has more losses and more stoppages. So, stoppage losses. So I don't see how the conversation is just what Errol can or can't do. I guess we'll have to wait and see. That's really my opinion on it. I feel like there's a lot of biases. And again, Robert Garcia's brother got cooked by Errol Spence Jr. So you know, first and foremost, how dangerous Errol could be. He almost stopped your brother in the 9th round. So I can't agree to this. Errol's a family man. He's been on a ranch with his family. I don't know what he's been doing in his offseason at all. I have no concept of how his life has been. We haven't seen him sparring. We haven't heard no infamous sparring story of him like getting dropped. He looks to be in tremendous shape. So how are people so comfortable speaking on that in which there's no way they could know? Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.